Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sanjana. Today I am going to talk about dynamic auscultation. My moderator is Dr. Shoaib sir. Dynamic auscultation is a technique of altering circulatory dynamics by means of a variety of physiological and pharmacological maneuvers and determining their effects on heart sounds and murmurs. The interventions most commonly employed are respiration, postural changes, isometric exercise, Valsalva maneuver, premature ventricular contractions, vasoactive agents like amyl nitrite. Coming to the first one, respiratory variation. We all know that the blood flow to the right side of the heart increases during inspiration because of increased venous return, and the blood flow to the left side of the heart increases during expiration. So the murmurs on the right side of the heart increases during inspiration and on the left side of the heart decreases during expiration. This increase in the venous return during the inspiration on the right side of the heart is responsible for the physiological splitting of second heart sound. That is, the closure of aortic valve is followed by the closure of the pulmonary valve. During inspiration, the murmurs which get accentuated are tricuspid stenosis, pulmonary regurgitation, diastolic murmurs, mild or moderate pulmonary stenosis, presystolic murmur of Epstein's anomaly. The inspiratory increase in murmur of tricuspid regurgitation is called Carvalho sign. So during expiration, the murmur of mitral stenosis, mitral regurgitation, aortic stenosis, aortic regurgitation, ventricular septal defect and pericardial rub gets accentuated. In mitral valve prolapse, as you can see in this figure, there is decrease in the left ventricular size during inspiration. This causes increased redundancy of mitral valve and increased valve prolapse during inspiration. Hence, the mitral systolic click and systolic murmur occur earlier during systole in inspiration. Next is postural changes. Rapid standing decreases venous return and thus also the stroke volume. Hence, the right and left ventricular diastolic volume and stroke volume decline. Also, there can be a fall in arterial pressure and reflex tachycardia. Because of standing, the width of the splitting becomes reduced, that is P2 moves closer to A2. This also decreases the intensity of right ventricular S3 and S4, left ventricular S3 and S4, semilunar valve stenosis, AV valve regurgitation murmurs, ventricular septal defect and most of the functional systolic murmurs. Rapid standing decreases the left ventricular end diastolic volume and increases the murmurs of HOCM and mitral valve prolapse. In mitral valve prolapse, there is early mitral systolic click and murmur. In HOCM, as you can see in this picture, the hypertrophied left ventricle is in close opposition with the mitral valve leaflet. All the factors which decreases the left ventricular volume, in this case example standing, will cause more obstruction to the left ventricular outflow tract, thus increasing the intensity of HOCM murmur. Squatting increases the venous return and systemic resistance simultaneously. So there is abrupt increase in ventricular preload and afterload. The arterial pressure raise may cause transient reflex bradycardia. In squatting, there is increase in stroke volume which causes augmentation of S3 and S4 of both the ventricles, right-sided murmurs, mitral stenosis and aortic stenosis. Squatting causes elevation of arterial pressure or the afterload. Because of increased pressure in the arterial circulation, that is in the aorta, there is tendency of the blood to flow back into the left ventricle or into the left atrium. So this causes the murmur of aortic regurgitation to increase in intensity. Also, there is increase in mitral regurgitation volume. In VST, there is shunting of blood from the left ventricle to the right ventricle. So this flow increases because of increased pressure across the aortic valve. The combination of elevated arterial pressure and venous return in squatting increases the left ventricular size and reduces the left ventricular outflow tract obstruction and decreases the murmur in HOCM. The click and murmur of MVP is delayed. Left lateral recumbent position accentuates the intensity of the murmur of S1, LVS3, LVS4. opening snap of mitral stenosis, murmurs of mitral stenosis and mitral regurgitation, click and murmur of mitral valve prolapse, Austin-Flint murmur. Sitting and leaning forward accelerates aortic regurgitation and pulmonary regurgitation murmur. Isometric exercise. Isometric exercise like sustained hand grip increases the cardiac output, heart rate and arterial pressure. This increases the systemic resistance and left ventricular filling pressure. Isometric hand grip increases the arterial pressure. Therefore, the pressure gradient across the aortic valve is reduced, causing the systolic murmur of aortic stenosis to get diminished. Also, the diastolic murmur of aortic regurgitation and systolic murmur of rheumatic mitral regurgitation and VST increases. Diastolic murmur of mitral stenosis becomes louder due to increased flow across the valve. Because the left ventricular volume is increased, systolic murmur of HOCM is decreased and the click and murmur of MVP is delayed. Valsalva maneuver. We ask the patient to close the nose and mouth and blow. This causes diminished ventricular filling. Valsalva maneuver has 4 phases. Phase 1, initial phase, where there is increased intrathoracic pressure directly transmitted to the aorta, followed by the phase 2, strain phase. There is reduced venous return and reflex tachycardia. Phase 3 is relapse phase, where the BP falls and temporary pooling of blood in the pulmonary veins occurs. Phase 4 is overshoot phase. There is overshoot of BP due to increased venous return and reflex tachycardia induced by phase 3 hypotension. This is the graphical representation of blood pressure and heart rate during Valsalva maneuver. The important is phase 2, where there is decrease in blood pressure and reflex tachycardia. During Valsalva maneuver, there is decreased blood return to both the chambers of the heart. Hence, A2 and P2 interval narrows. Because blood flow is reduced on both the chambers, there is attenuation of S3 and S4, aortic stenosis and pulmonary stenosis murmur, mitral regurgitation and tricuspid regurgitation murmur, aortic regurgitation and pulmonary regurgitation murmur, tricuspid stenosis and mitral stenosis murmur. Since the left ventricular volume is reduced, the murmur of HOCM increases and systolic click and murmur of MVP commences earlier. Coming to the next one, post-premature beat. Post-premature beat increases the ventricular filling and contractility. Post-premature beat, because of increased volume and contractility, augments the ejection systolic murmur of aortic stenosis and pulmonary stenosis. In case of HOCM, it can occur either ways. Because of increased contractility, it increases the dynamic left ventricular outflow tract obstruction, and also increased volume decreases the left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. Because of increase in LV size, it delays the systolic click and murmur of MVP. Similar auscultative changes are also seen following prolonged diastolic pauses in atrial fibrillation. Amyl nitrate inhalation. Amyl nitrate is a vasodilator. It decreases the arterial pressure, which in turn increases the heart rate and cardiac output. Since amyl nitrate decreases the pressure in the aorta, the pressure gradient across the aortic valve is increased. Because of this, the murmur of aortic stenosis, hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy and mitral stenosis increases. Also, because of decreased pressure in the pulmonary artery, the murmur of pulmonary stenosis and tricuspid regurgitation increases. The murmurs which decreases in intensity during amyl nitrate inhalation are mitral regurgitation, ventricular septal defect, patent ductus arteriosus and aortic regurgitation. Amyl nitrate response can be used to distinguish some of the important murmurs. The systolic murmur of aortic stenosis increases during amyl nitrate inhalation and that of mitral regurgitation decreases. Systolic murmur of pulmonary stenosis increases and VST decreases. Diastolic murmur of MS increases and Austin-Flint murmur of aortic regurgitation decreases. The early diastolic murmur of pulmonary regurgitation increases and aortic regurgitation decreases during amyl nitrate response. This is a table showing the effect of different maneuvers on some of the common valvular diseases. In mitral stenosis, inspiration, sudden standing, which decreases the pulmonary venous return, which in turn reduces the left atrial pressure, reduces the mid-diastolic murmur, the opening snap softens, the A2 and the opening snap gap widens. Exercise and squatting amyl nitrate accentuates the mid-diastolic murmur of MS. In mitral regurgitation, sudden standing, Valsalva, amyl nitrate decreases the murmur. Squatting, isometric exercise augments the murmur. In aortic stenosis, post-VPC beat and squatting increases the murmur of AS, whereas Valsalva, standing and hand grip reduces the murmur. In aortic regurgitation, squatting, isometric exercise, sitting up and leaning forward increases the early diastolic murmur of AR. Amyl nitrate, Valsalva decreases the murmur. In MVP, standing and Valsalva, where there is decrease in the left ventricular volume, there is earlier mitral systolic click, but the intensity is decreased. Squatting, post-ectopic isometric exercise, which increases the left ventricular volume, the click occurs later, but the intensity increases. In hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, maneuvers like Valsalva, standing, post-ectopic increases the murmur, whereas sustained hand grip, squatting decreases the murmur. This is a table which shows how different maneuvers can be used to differentiate some of the most confusing murmurs. First, between aortic stenosis and HOCM. Squatting increases the murmur of aortic stenosis, whereas decreases the murmur of HOCM. Valsalva and standing decreases the murmur of aortic stenosis and increases the HOCM murmur. Second is the differences between aortic stenosis and mitral regurgitation. Hand grip increases the murmur of MR and decreases the murmur of AS. Post VPC increases aortic stenosis murmur and decreases the mitral regurgitation murmur. Amyl nitrate increases the aortic stenosis murmur and decreases the mitral regurgitation murmur. These are my references. Thank you.